Okay, so it is tree time. So what we're doing, bought these in I was going to say pet shop, but it was an aquarium shop ages ago, and I want to get them onto some bases so I can use them. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll sort of pull off individual ones and glue gun them onto a glue gun them onto a base, then a bit of sand, a bit of paint around the bottom, just so that if they peek through the gravel on the board, you don't see anything sort of random or shiny. So there's those. So I'm going to do a few of those. Then these are all super old from when I had really ancient terrain. They're probably 20 years old, give or take. These are railway trees. So some of them are a bit broken, some of them were stuck to polystyrene and need a bit of neatening up. But I'm going to glue these to weights, bit of paint and sand around the bait. That must be a very old hair. I must have been 20 something when I grew that hair. I wonder if Lemmy will have a go at it. Lemmy. I don't know. Apparently not. Hello. You've got fans. I just read a comment on the internet that said Lemmy is awesome. Science fact. Yeah, they're talking about you. You hear her purring? Yeah. Okay, so yes, I'm being distracted from my stack of chaos by trees. That's because I've been distracted from everything else by the prospect of shiny new games and thinking, oh, but I want the world to look a little bit different. If this is going to be a maiden world, I need trees. So yesterday I got out all my Emperor's Children and my Slanesh demons. I thought, oh, what can I have a game against these with? And then I thought, oh, Ynnari. So I got out all my Ynnari, started putting it all into Battle Scribe to work out what it all would be. And I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that today. That'd be great. And basically running off with the latest shiny. I've decided not to do that. I've decided I want to do a bit of terrain today. Because, but... What are you doing with that tree? Oh, you're ignoring it now. I've put the camera on you. Okay. I do get super, super distracted. Yeah, see, there's a whole stack of Primaris Marines over there for the Fulminators. They were a priority. Building all these for the Night Lords were a priority, but I'm now thinking, oh, terrain, and I could do. Someone mentioned earlier about chaos versus chaos fighting, and I've been thinking for a while I could do a War of the Nine Legions thing. I'm like, all right, okay, so we're gonna have to paint my Word Bearers and my Death Guard pretty quick, so I could do War of the Nine and my Thousand Sons, War of the Nine Legions. Oh, so much to do, so many pretty things. What tends to happen is I tend to get... Don't eat that. I tend to get quite far on a project and do like the first batch and then think, oh yeah, I'll get the rest of it now. Like that. And then get halfway through the rest of it and then move on to something else. That's why nearly every army I've got a box on here somewhere that's got a work in progress stack of stuff. So I think I mentioned these in my last vlog. I'm not quite sure how good these are going to look on the tabletop, but my plan is to snip off the long stalky bits, then glue them to a base, and then do some sand and glue and stuff with the base, and we're going to see how that goes. So that's what my morning looks like today. So I'm going to go and do that. So I get super easily distracted. They're stuck to things. I'm in the process of sticking these to things. But this just arrived. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, I mean, I can't play it because I need more people. But, wow, I am going to have to... This is impromptu unboxing. Hello. Come on, move. Wow, what we got. I mean, this is really heavy. Awakened spindle drone. Oh. More cards. Oh, what are these cards? These are board tiles. That looks like there's about 5 or 6 of them. Battle to survive the Blackstone Fortress. Oh, I'm so sad the Blackstone Fortress is coming to an end because I freaking love it. Okay, these look a little bit smaller than I was expecting. So they're sort of what? Yay big, about 3 inches. I kind of thought these were sort of 5-6 inch monsters. But that's cool. 2 of these. Do not access the secret elements under this tray until your quest tells you to. But the bases are under there. Stronghold the hut. Oh, right. Let me get the bases out. Oh no! How can that be? It's an entire box I'm not allowed to look at. Do not access the secret elements under this tray until the quest tells you to. Oh no! Oh, how? But it must say in here somewhere. This is why the thing's so heavy. I didn't know what it was when I got the parcel because I thought I haven't ordered anything this heavy. Oh, so many more cards. And they look like gun turrets. They totally look like turrets. They look like laser cannon tarantulas. Ah. You can look at the table for a moment whilst I open this as well. Hurry up, the people are staring at the table. Right, got it. Okay, so not got it. There's an invisible barrier. Okay, guardian drone. Cards. Oh, secret envelope. Love a secret envelope. Haven't opened any of my secret envelopes yet because I only painted all the models at Christmas. Started playing it in January. Then boom, lockdown. So unhappy. Got all the models painted. Just need to do, so I've got one more batch of painted models. So this, the Amble, who's not the Amble, the Zote, who's over there somewhere, and I think they're up there. I bought some. Yeah, you totally can't see those. I've bought the pack of extra monsters because I was fed up of not having enough monsters when I drew cards. But then when we're all back being able to have multiple people in houses again, so 2030 maybe, I'll have it all ready. Oh, I should maybe put the camera on a stick. What's this? Oh, painting guide. Yep, looks like the same as the last time. Okay, great. What's this then? What's this? Darius Hinks, novel available from 2nd of May. Okay, I hope it's on Audible. I'm listening to the new Storm of Fire book on Audible at the moment. That is freaking good. That's kind of like a cross between a Horus Heresy book and Eisenhorn, which is really good. Okay, new floor settings. These look good. They've got sort of spooky, electric-y stuff. Unstable marker. That looks cool. Hover drones. Ooh, goody. How to play fragment cards. That sounds interesting. Unstable fragments. The repository. Open the repository sealed envelope. I bet it says in there, now go into the box and look underneath the special thing. Oh, what do these templates look like? Oh. That looks like an Eldar gun. That's an Eldar gun. That looks like maybe a multi-melter or something. Some kind of plasma-y thing. That also looks Eldari. Oh, and I like that. They've got the same thing, but yeah, they've got them printed on different backgrounds with different sort of colour hues so that when you place them on the right tile, they look like they belong. I like that. That's really good. Oh, that looks like a termite drill. And some weird chaos thing. And some kind of termite drill tokens. I think we're excavating. Oh. What else? What else? What else? Oh. I'm not sure what any of those are. They can continue, but there's loads of individual tokens. It must make use of lots and lots of map tiles and just put these on top of them to, like, objectives or something. Oh, no, don't be popping out. Stay put. 10, 5, 1. Okay, intriguing. Another tile. More tiles. Oh, that looks like some kind of energy arc nexus thing. And crates. Scatter terrain. Oh, bit of white line cover there. That looks like a las cannon tarantula. Yes. Yes. Right. Back to trees. Back to trees. Alright, put all this back away. Oh, it's going to be months before I play this. And I've got to finish the rest of the Blackstone Fortress before I can play it. But never mind. I mean, this is just... Oh, so buzzing for this. Down you go. Okay, that's why the box is so heavy. It's full of cards and things. Have I just put it all in the lid? No, I haven't. Okay. We can add that to little furry Smaug's hoard. Yeah, so I've stuck these on weights. That's good. These are on weights as well. Got to finish sticking all these onto weights now. Oh yeah, it's reminded me. You see those flying stalky stands up there? Yeah, you know what I was trying to do with the magnetisation? Yeah, didn't work. They just fell down all floppy and didn't actually stick. It was like watching a marine hang from a gibbet. I obviously did something wrong. I need to talk to stylist. But in the meantime, I'm probably just going to glue them on. And then every time they snap off, glue them on again. And then every time they snap off again, glue them on again. They snap off a lot. Yeah, I do have the dilemma. Once I've got these done, so what am I going to do with these? Now, what I need to do is carry on gluing shrubs to weights. Right, on with that. So you may recall my saying that I had the attention span of a butterfly. It happened again, guys. So I sanded the bases for all the trees and did the painting with my, that doesn't say Rhinox hide. I absolutely didn't get a tester pot colour matched to Rhinox hide because that would be reprehensible. Totally didn't do that. Whilst I was waiting for that to dry, because emulsion takes longer to dry than Citadel paints, I thought, oh, what can I do? Because I had about an hour and a half before my gaming, my Saturday night gaming. Oh, cans on the floor. It's because I moved the bin and put a cat thing there. I say cat thing, it's actually a coat that she likes. And so I decided to paint this. It's nearly done. I've just got... Oh, shoot. That's Agrax sticking it to the palette. Oh, come on, guys. Don't do this to me. There we go. And so, yeah, not bad. Not bad. Just some basic colours and a coat of Agrax Earthshade. And that'll look pretty good from 2 feet away. Quite pleased with that. Need to do a bit of dry brushing on the sandy stuff, but I'll do that at the same time I dry brush those plant things, which is great. And then I went down a rabbit hole of finding all the other unpainted terrain I've got and taking all of the buildings off the bases, because it only took me about 90 minutes to paint. So I thought, hey, if I can get some more buildings painted, that's really good time investment. The time to output ratio, super duper. Most of them didn't survive being taken off the bases, as you can see from this pile of bits. Found some more sprues that need assembling. Found some actual buildings. I don't know what's in this, because I got this. This was a hand-me-down from someone who quit. It's got bits that have been used and cut out. I think they went to make the big green tower thing that... Whoops. The big green tower thing that you've possibly seen on battle reports. Tower. Tower's the wrong word. Oh, I'm going to have to pick this up now. The big bastion. A sort of 4x4 bastion. Yeah, so I don't think this is the whole thing. I think I'll have to see what I can make out of it. So that's that. And then this is a massive box of bastion offcuts. Like bits of wall that have been chopped up and there's just what can I do with those? It's a bit of Aegis line. So these represent, I think I might do little bits of debris, or I might do some sort of like ruined craters, bastions that have been blown up or something. Yeah, so easily distracted. These models, meh. Random stuff that I'll probably get 30% of the way through and then lose enthusiasm for. A picture of my foot there. So I think what I'm going to do right now, after I've cleared all the stuff out the way, is I think I'm going to do the dry brushing on the bases for these things, just to get a little bit of texture on them. And most of the time you won't see, it's not a coin, most of the times you won't see these at all because they'll have gravel underneath them, but I want them to not be jarring if a little bit shows through. So they're just going to get a light dry brush, so hopefully I should power through all that lot in relatively short order. Then it's a case of what I do next. I'm quite tempted by this one. I'm in two minds with this one, right? Because again, this was another hand-me-down. I wonder if I can... Does that make it easier to see or less easy? A lot of light. It's early in the morning on Sunday. For some reason, my brain decided I didn't need to sleep past 6:30. Stupid brain. So this has been converted. I mean, it's got a sort of tyrannid infestation thing, and this bit here that was a crater has been filled with polyfiller. And yeah, that so is not coming out. And it's got these tyrannid little nodule things on it. So back in the day, I'd have said this is going to be a piece of dangerous terrain. I don't think that really exists now, does it? In Ninth Ed, I'm not sure. But yeah, decide what colour to paint the rhino. I might do it a chapter that I don't have. Oh, cobwebs. Might do it a chapter that I don't have, or one of the ones that I do have. I think I'm being overtaken by the urge to do terrain today. Yes, terrain. But you never know, I might run out of enthusiasm by 10 o'clock and end up doing something else entirely. Right, time to crack on. Oh, this room is such a mess. Stop pointing the camera at the floor. Pointed at Batman and friends. I say friends, mortal enemies. Yeah. Oh God, where to start? You pointed at the floor again. Stop it. Ooh, the table's just as bad. Models. Pointed at models. Pointed at ogres. I miss my ogres. I miss Fantasy Battle. I used to look. Opening doors, one-handed, no handles. tricky. I used to love Fantasy Battle. I love the ranks and files of the dudes. Technical term, dudes. Cauldron of Blood. Whoops. Cauldron of Blood, that changed a bit. Turn the camera off again by mistake. Oh, I always seem to do that when I try and manipulate the thingy bob. Lots of undeads. Another door. More undeads. Big thing of, I think it's 80 zombies. Painted those in a weekend. Quite pleased with those. Yeah. Oh, and then my 1,000 Suns and Siege Demons. Then more ogres. And my very small Empire army, which I was working on. My Avaland army just before they killed the game off. Then some orcs. What else is in here? What's up here? Valkyrie. Sanguinius, which was a 40th birthday present on this little plinthy thing with his wings. Not quite sure why the wings are pink, but never mind. What else is back here? Some Inquisitor, re-stuff, bit of Grey Knight, Belisarius Crawl in 2 pieces. Oh, Eldrad Ulthran. He needs painting. You see? Easily distracted. So easily distracted. Oh, we got over here. A few Blood Angels. Yes. Blood Bowl. Some painted, some not. With cheerleaders for my humans. A lot of random stuff here. G-Stealers. Pile of World Eaters. Fulminators in various stages of preparedness. Blackstone Fortress. Pile of G-Stealers. Corn Demons. Knights. Skaven. Aeronautica Imperialis. Games. Board games. This. Now this. I happened to comment in one of my vlogs a few weeks ago that I was trying to find some more of these bad boys. And a legend called Dan from Chesterfield. I don't believe the etiquette is to use people's full names on YouTube, but this chap got in touch with me and said, oh, I had a Conquest subscription and they're no use to me because all I do is paint and read the lore and the books and stuff. Would you like them? And he absolutely wouldn't take a penny off me for them and has given me every piece of terrain from the Conquest set. Just given it to me. He even came and dropped it off at my door. So, massive call out. Dan, you are an absolute superstar. I am going to have some AdMech-tastic game tables with that stuff. So I've also got a thing with the what I ordered some more stuff from GW, well, Element Games, Natch. Some more of the industrial type terrain from GW. I ordered an appropriate type of mat from GameMat.eu. And oh, hello, I know. So I'm going to have probably a concerted push at some point. Not entirely sure when, to do all that industrial terrain. And I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll do G-Stealers versus AdMech for a few games. Got a lot of G-Stealers to paint. I can maybe do like with what I've got at the moment for them both. I could do like a 750 point game. I'm having a bit of a dilemma at the moment because X-Wing. Anyway, I've got a bit of a dilemma at the moment because I've got like 3 videos in the bank. One is Alpha Legion versus Alatok with the Claw. One is part 3 of chapter 2 of Fulminators versus Night Lords. So I have a number of dilemmas because I want to do I think I mentioned this previously. I want to do the Death of Hope. I totally forgot I'd called my Titan the Death of Hope when Winters and I named the campaign the Death of Hope, which was also didn't account for the fact that there was an animated short series called The Death of Hope. Too many deaths of hope. I digress. So I want to do a Sisters versus Word Bearers. I think I've mentioned that before. I've got the list planned out purely with models that I've already got, which is part of the reason for the scenery push. I don't want my games to look too samey. I want them to look kind of different. I've also planned out a big game of Ynnari versus Slaanesh. I think that'll be awesome. Also, I want that to be a bit different. And then I've also got to paint the rest of the models I need for part 3 of Fulminaces versus Night Lords. I won't tell you what it is, because that would be a spoiler, but there's a lot of models I'm going to paint. There's probably 60 or 70 models. And so I thought what I could do, I could film these other Space Marine ones, these other Chaos ones, and get those in the bank, as it were, whilst I'm painting away in the background. Brilliant. Lovely. Great idea. The problem with that is they're supposed to be changing the rules for Marines for all Marines in October when they bring out the Space Marine Codex. So I don't know how far in advance I really want to be filming stuff like that, because the rules will be out of date. That's a thing. I have to think of that now, because when I you can also see where I got all my spares from that are all over my Night Lords, all the sort of torsos and stuff, and guts and bits and pieces. They all came from these offcuts. Yeah. So I don't know whether to just not film them till nearer the time, but then I'll be putting myself under pressure to film so that I can get them onto the channel, which I don't want to do. I want to have them ready and in my pocket so there's no pressure, which is why I filmed a bunch in advance. So what do I do then? Do I do only armies that aren't going to be affected by that? Well, I could do that. My AdMech are too small. So my Genestealer cult. I want to play some bigger games now. And also I've got to do all the terrain for them, so that's out. World Eaters versus Death Guard for 2 reasons. Firstly, they're Marines, and secondly, I've got to paint them all. I've got none painted for those guys, apart from my old Death Guard army, which I want to use my new Death Guard army against the World Eaters. I've got my Blood Angels, hooray! But I need to paint some Primaris for them, and they're going to change. Iron Hands, gonna change. All my Chaos, gonna change. So I'm left with basically. Well, I could play Sisters, but I'd have to play Sisters against something non-chaosy, which I could do, but I don't particularly want to, really. My Imperial Guard are in need of a significant revamping. The models are old and tired. My paint job on those models are old and tired compared to what I do these days. Plus, it's really unbalanced. It was built for 4th Ed, so the army doesn't really work. I haven't really got proper battalions. I've got a sort of mix. I want to do, platoons. I want to do a proper mix of, and I want to do an infantry platoon. I want to do an artillery platoon. I want to do a mechanised platoon. And it's all kind of a mishmash at the moment, so I'm not really happy using those either. So I'm kind of just left with Eldar and Orcs. And I'm thinking, do I do something Eldar and Orc related? I can have that in the bank then. And it doesn't matter at what point I use that. I don't know. Maybe I do. Oh, what have we got here with the Thousand Suns? We have got... You see, I've sat down now and I'm pointing at things. Got Iron Man. Iron Man does whatever an Iron can. 3 Sorcerers. I think that's 30 Rubric Marines. 3 units of Rubric Marines, so it would be 27. Unit Termies, couple of Dreadnoughts. Boom. Oh, and there's a Dreadnought knocking about here somewhere. Dreadnought. There's a Rhino knocking about here somewhere. I say rhino, it's in a box, but I've got some doors for it. Yeah, one of those guys lots to be in a rhino. And then there's a ton of demons and stuff that need proper painting. Oh, and that fellow on his disc. Stabby, stabby. I need more sleep. I think that is my cue to stop talking and go and do... Oh, I just realised there's a dude behind the thing. Who is that? Who's hiding? Hey, there we go. Mr. One Peter. Who's not focusing. You want to focus, buddy? And there's his mounted version there. Yeah, pleased with those and other vampires. Yeah, I don't like my vampire coats. Ho hum, ho hum. Never mind. They still look pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna go and do stuff now. Mistakes are made. It's in so many tiny, teeny little pieces. I have a mountain to climb. Okay, so here's the dilemma. This is how far I've got, which is what's basically going to be some kind of ruined cathedral type thing. Going to have a balcony on here, and there's going to be a roof on here with another balcony on there, with the door opening. Ruined tower at one end, intact tower at the other end. And back here, I've got enough, ignore the piece of wood, I've got enough things to come sort of another 6 or 8 inches out, not quite so far on that side, and have a couple of platforms. Now the proportions look about right in terms of the size of the tower and the length of the body of the building, I think. However, I reckon you could stand maybe 10 guardsmen abreast, if that, maybe 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 or 9, I reckon. I can get 8 or 9 people abreast in my garden. That's not a very impressive width for a building of this stature. It's jarring to me. So I'm wondering whether actually I need to take a step back and make it wider. Which would mean taking apart what I've already done. Which is fine. It is fine. It is fine. And put an extra door at the bottom and an extra door on the top. I'm also thinking I'll take the doors out of here because then it gives me a big raised multi-layer platform. And this can be like a nice big piece of feature terrain to fight over. But I wonder if it will look wrong with that extra width. I don't know. That's my dilemma. Proportionally, it looks quite good right now, but it's just not. I mean, if the scale were different and these were massive doors and the people were only yay high, that'd be all right. But they're not. They're this big, which means this doesn't feel grand enough to have big towery gubbinses on it. So that's my dilemma. Tried calling Winters, find out, get his opinion, but he's not answering. Not sure what to do. I'm going to ponder some more, and I may make a random decision. I don't know. It's also it's reasonably solid right now. I've put structural cross beams in and all sorts, and I've hot glue gunned it in place, and I think either way I've got to take that door out so that they can move between the platforms. Or what's the point? They can move between the platforms because the rules say you can. They can shoot across the terrain. rather than it being a sort of thing. I'm sure you can infer what I mean by the pointing and the lack of words. See, it's a work day. I've got no brain left at the end of the day, which is why I don't know what to do. Right, more thinking. Right, it's Wednesday night, and I've done some midweek hobbying. I can't believe I actually have to hold the camera back so you can see this building that I've been working on. In fact, I might even have to pan the camera around. In the end, I think I mentioned last time that I was thinking of breaking it and making it wider. Yeah, I totally did that. I'm really pleased I did. I've no idea if this is going to work because I can't actually see the camera now. You can probably see all the plastic dust on my shirt and the cat. Yeah, no idea if that's worked. I guess I'll check when I see the footage. So I'm quite pleased with that. This is a sort of cathedral-esque style building. I don't know whether I want it to be a sort of imperial place of worship or just in that style of building. I haven't decided that yet. Probably not, because then it means I have fewer uses for it on the table. But I've just done all the walls tonight. I've had to reclaim so many pieces from old buildings. Some of them are really, really full of paint. But I think it'll be okay. And I've just stuck all this wall to get... It's nearly bedtime, and she gets a treat at bedtime. I say treat, it's bribery. And she's obviously ready for it. All they can see is your fur. They want to see the big building. You just give it a minute. So, I don't know if you can see under here all the... No, you can't really, can you? Oh, don't knock over the hot glue gun. It's not very hot anymore, that's alright. Can you see? Yeah, all of the sprues used to stick the floor together to make it solid enough to hold. So I'm quite pleased with that. And then what I've been doing is sort of laying out what I want to do for the top layer. Because my dilemma is, if I'm making a nice big floor, I won't be able to see or use the floor underneath. It'll sort of be hidden away in a pocket underneath it, which, don't want. So I've come up with this pattern, which I think should allow me access to the corner. Should be able to see it. Where it's coming out a bit deeper, it's actually under a thing where there's going to be some light coming through. So I think that's going to do it. So I need to do that. Then I need to do the roof for this thing. And irritatingly, these tiles aren't the right size to go in there. So. Then I've got to do the the wall on the roof. Got to do the roof wall thing. Then all of the... Oh, where's one? So the roof wall thing. The roof wall thing, yep. And then I've got to do all these things around the sides. Lemmy. Oh, I know, you'll just have to wait a minute. This is why I don't vlog at 9:30 on a weeknight. She's been sat happily next to me. As soon as I start talking, she's awake, as is usual. Okay, so that's where I'm at for tonight. Don't know when I'm going to do any more. Maybe tomorrow night. Although I have got a computer game to play on a PlayStation. You know when you do that, your claws are out and they're very sharp. Okay, right. So I'll be doing the usual thing of just uploading whatever I've got on Friday. There may be more to follow, or actually the finishment of this building may be in next week's vlog. Ah! It's so spiky! Because what I am wanting to do, I've ordered a map. Oh, I have to run my fingers. I stand up and point it out. I've ordered. Oh dear. Oh, and that's the other thing as well, is if I use one of these, then on the table, I can have this at this end to make the big ruin of a building, which I'm quite pleased about. I've ordered one of the mats from GameMat.eu that's got a sort of chaos ritual thing in the centre of it with blood and everything. So I kind of like the idea of... I've been talking about having a game with the sisters. I kind of like the idea of having this in the middle with the ritual circle in the middle with word bearers and sisters. So I am totally going to do that. I'm going to get these buildings finished and painted. And I think my mats have been dispatched from GameMat.eu. So yeah, when they've arrived, and I'm totally going to do that. I'm looking forward to that immensely. This is going to be such a cool piece of terrain to fight over. I really hope it works. I spent ages agonising over whether to take the doors out. And I ended up having a chat with Winters to say, well, what would you do? And we ended up comparing buildings. The dilemma was around actually having the building being usable and having it be something that actually blocks off line of sight and affects the battlefield. So I was thinking of taking all the doors out, and Winston was saying leave all the doors in. So done a bit of both. Because I want to be able to have a battle across this bit. And the idea I had was, and I don't think it's going to work. It's not big enough. But I thought I want to be able to have two different objectives on the one building. That would be totally cool. But I guess if I've got the other part back here, I can do that. But on one terrain piece, I guess 9 inches up there to 9 inches down there. But that'd make that a pretty useless objective. I do not hold in any way, shape or form with the notion that you put the objectives on an unmade table, then build the terrain around it just so the objective can be on the bottom. That is competitive 101. So, as usual, I disregard. That's where we are. I definitely won't have this finished on this vlog. But maybe with a fair wind, it'll be on next week's vlog. Maybe. Right, I've just been checking the footage to see if I got the picture of the thing that when I went round the thingy right. And I've just noticed something I've done wrong. I wanted this building to be symmetrical, and somehow I've got my pieces mixed up, and these two should be the other way around, because then it matches the window on this side. And they're the wrong way around. That is going to mess with my head if I leave that as it is. How much do I care? Well, I care a lot. How easy are those ones going to be to replace? Have I got any? Or they might just be a simple case of knock those two out and swap them round. So close, but yet so far. Damn it. I swapped them over with a massive amount of sprues and glue gun holding them back together. This has been stuck together so many times, so many different ways. I hope it holds. I'm sure it will. The Emperor protects. Just not very well.